Well, I've gotten a lot of information about it. I put it in convoluted 2 and convoluted 3, and I'm still getting information. I'm getting bits and pieces that I didn't know about before because I've gotten so much information, but I keep asking more and more questions. And they said, we can't answer all your questions because we don't know what's going to happen. This has never happened before in the history of a universe, that an entire planet will shift into another dimension. So we don't know what's going to happen. And it's the greatest show on earth, that all the ETs, the other beings are out there watching to see, are we going to be able to pull it off?
And let's talk about what it is, what we're headed for.
Okay, but down through Earth's history, we've had many, many civilizations that have come and gone. We have reached the peak of what they could do. And then it was usually because of man's greed and power, they had to be destroyed and they were brought down again. And every time, the civilizations had to begin over from the very primitive stage, the very bottom. And it took so much time to build it up again. This time, they said they don't want to take the time to do that. We're losing too much. And the earth is a living being. It is going to go into its next incarnation. It is evolving. It's going to go whether we go or not. It doesn't care if it takes the human race with it, because we're like fleas on a dog.
Right.
And it would just as soon we all disappeared. So that's why it's going to do its thing. But if we want to go with it, we're going to have to evolve also. But because it is moving, it is evolving, and the frequencies and vibrations are changing as it moves into this other dimension. And there will be, this is where the variances come in. I get some, the answers are different, that there will be essentially 2 Earths.
Yes.
And one is the old Earth. And some people say, is that a physical Earth or not? I don't know, but it's a division and a shifting of the energies as it goes into another dimension. But the old Earth will still exist with all its negativity. This is where all the catastrophes will be, the wars, all of those things, because they say those people will stay with what they have created. And they have created that type of world. And in order for you to go with the earth, you have to change your vibrations and frequencies to shift also. But you can't change your vibrations and frequencies instantly. It would destroy the human body. So the ones that are heavy into negativity, they can't shift that fast. So by the time they catch up, they won't be able to. Their vibrations and frequencies are so low, they will stay with the old earth. But they said that doesn't matter. They'll get there eventually anyway.
This is exactly what was given to me back in the mid-'80s, and since then has been reinforced that part of it will also happen through attrition. As people die out that are still working on certain lessons, they'll be incarnating into the one earth, and those who have advanced themselves in their frequencies will be incarnating then to the other earth as well, to the other one. However, this whole thing about living through the process is really the interesting part.
Those whose frequencies can't change at all will simply leave the planet. They will transition because they can't adjust to it.
Yes.
Now, it is shifting and moving, and now time is speeding up. I found all of this began about 2003. That's when it began to be obvious as the shifting was occurring. And a lot of people don't really know what's going on. All they know is something is happening and they're feeling different about it. But as it shifts, your body has to adjust with it because your frequencies and vibrations have to match the Earth's as it moves.
Absolutely.
The other ones that are into negativity will stay where they are. But if you want to move with the old Earth, you're going to have to change your vibration and frequencies. And there are a lot of physical things happening right now that people are noticing. And a lot of them go to the doctors and they say there's nothing wrong with them. This is because, as I said, you can't change your frequency instantly. It would destroy the body. It has to be done gradually. So you may notice these symptoms for a few days, and then it will go away for a month or so, and then you'll notice them again. And there would just be on and off symptoms.
What are some of the most common symptoms?
That's what I was
Oh,
going
okay.
to tell you.
All right.
Because this is the body adjusting to the frequency. Some of the most common symptoms are high blood pressure, heart palpitations, dizziness, depression, body aches and pains, especially in the joints, nausea, headaches. But the depression and the dizziness is one that people talk a lot about, and also the heart palpitations and the high blood pressure. And they go to the doctor can't find anything wrong. Of course, they're going to put them on pills anyway.
Oh, yeah. You're on Lipitor right off the bat, right.
Oh, all of it.
All of it.
And they said it doesn't do any good because it's gone in a few days. And they say if you know what's happening, you can write it out. But the older people are the ones that are going to have the hardest time because their body has a lot harder time adjusting to all of these frequencies. The children, you don't worry about them. They're coming in with all of the frequencies already in place. They're already adjusted. It's the ones in the middle, the second and third waves, are the ones that are going to notice this the most.
And this requires, it requires dietary change in a lot of cases.
I was going to get to that too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it
Well,
when you're ready.
But you can see the physical symptoms would be disturbing.
Yes.
And the doctors don't know what it is. If you understand it, you can write it out a lot easier. And I always ask in my lectures, does anyone notice their diets are changing? And they usually say they do. In order to move, for your body to evolve, to go with this, you have to change your diet. You can't eat heavy foods. The body has to become lighter so that it can transcend. Heavy foods will hold it to the earth and hold it down. So they said especially stay away from heavy meats. The best foods to eat are live foods. These mean fresh fruits and vegetables. That's the best food. If you can get organic, that's the best of all. You can eat some chicken and meat and fish, but not the heavy beefs and porks. None of that. And they said to stay away from sugar as much as possible and drink lots and lots of water. The value of water is unbelievable. They said we have no concept of what the value of water is for the body. And after you do this a while, you'll find you won't even want the sweets anymore. You will gradually have just evolved away from that.
That's true when you're properly hydrated, which most of us are chronically dehydrated.
Yes.
And so you don't know what it feels like till you force yourself to go on a discipline.
You go off of Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah, you had to go through that.
Oh, I went through that because for years that was all I did.
Yes.
And they made me get off of
Right,
it all.
I remember that.
And now I don't want anything really sweet at all because it does turn you off of that. But that's what your diets will change. And they said eventually you're going to see yourself going into all the liquids. And when I've been on the air and mentioned that, people will call in and say, I wondered why I've been wanting to eat more smoothies.
Yes, I feel the same way, yes. I could be perfectly happy just drinking my meals, except for the
because that's
occasional.
where we're moving into that part.
Yes, and our digestive systems are going to be changing in the
They
future
are. They're
too.
changing now.
Yes.